Now, breaking news this afternoon, this is that the UK's stats watchdog has launched an investigation into the government's claim it cleared the legacy backlog of asylum claims in 2023. Well, Rishi Sunak yesterday insisted the applications made before the 28th of June 2022 had been dealt with. But 4,537 claims from the backlog still needed a decision. Joining me in the studio now is talkTV political correspondent Alicia Fitzgerald and Scarlett Maguire from JL Partners Polls. Very warm welcome to both of you. So this time yesterday, we were talking about Rishi Sunak was saying a sort of hooray for me, look how clever I've been. I promised that I was going to get rid of this backlog of asylum claimants by the end of the year. Got to January the 2nd yesterday, and he said he'd pretty much done it, give or take a few asylum claims here and there. Alicia, what are we now being told?
So we're now being told that actually when you really dig down into those statistics, that isn't really the case whatsoever. There were some migrants who tried to claim asylum, but they have been escalated into a complex queue. That is people who are saying that they are under the age of 18 and whose ages need verification, people with potential criminal records, and just those complex cases that just need some more time to be reviewed. That is where that 4,500-ish figure comes into. So that many people have not been reviewed or settled whatsoever. They've neither been rejected nor accepted for asylum here. The other issue is, of course, that so many people who were rejected for asylum will also be seeking appeal in the future. Lots of them who've been told no will escalate this to the courts and look for a second decision to be made. So actually, when Rishi Sunak said that he had cleared all of these cases and all of the backlog, that wasn't entirely transparent. And today we are hearing that a watchdog is actually investigating this claim to see whether or not it was transparent or not. I'm not entirely sure why we need a watchdog, because it quite clearly wasn't entirely the case, but that's what's happening. They're escalating it a bit further.
Now, this time yesterday, you know, I'm not saying I told you so, but there were many people yesterday saying this just feels a bit convenient that suddenly you have managed to get these claimants all sorted. But Scarlett, the wider picture here is how much does it matter how Rishi Sunak looks to be doing when it comes to asylum? Obviously, he has said that this is one of his 5 top pledges. But as far as the public is concerned, as far as polls are concerned, how important is immigration, asylum claimants, Rwanda, all of that?
Yeah, so immigration as a whole is actually hugely important to the electorate, and increasingly so. So, you know, it's in the sort of top 3 of the most important issues facing the country for most voters. For Conservative 2019 voters, it's actually the most important issue, which explains a lot of the government strategy. I think when you move on from that, what people really care about is the sort of illegal migration system, especially the sort of small boats crossings. So that's where Rishi Sunak at the beginning of last year probably had the right idea in saying that he was going to stop the boats and that that's what people care about. Now, it did seem a bit silly to say he was going to promise to not let any more boats come, to stop them completely, because I think now that's what people are measuring him against. People aren't actually, I don't think they care that much about whether the government met its own sort of quite arbitrary deadline of clearing the backlog before June in 2022. Don't think that matters that much to the public. What they want to see is actual action, and that's not what they're seeing, whatever the statistics watchdog says.
Now, traditionally, when we've looked at polls and when pollsters have asked the public, which party out of Conservatives and Labour do you think is more competent on X, Y, Z? Traditionally, the Conservatives have come up better when people have said they do better with crime, they do better with the economy, they do better with immigration. The latest polls I've seen haven't been saying that, which to people who've been around a while was quite a shock to me.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think there's actually been a degree of complacency with this Conservative government, because I think they look at Keir Starmer and they think, well, he's not a very popular leader, so we've got room to improve, those polls are going to narrow. But actually, when you dig into it, yes, Keir Starmer might not be very popular, but he is more trusted on every major issue. And significantly, you're absolutely right, on those issues which historically the public have been, you know, a fair bit more distrustful on over Labour. But he has a clear lead on the immigration and also on economy.